Hello, tubers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thank you for coming on to Cooper's Thai Adventure live stream with myself and my trusted sidekick and good friend, Mr. Brooke Schneider. Thank you, Mr. Brooke Schneider, for coming back.
Good to be here.
So, today's title, Market Movers, What's Driving Stocks and Crypto Today, was Brooke's idea. So I'm going to let him start the show.
Well, keep your powder dry, ladies and gentlemen. Some world events we're all aware of are happening, and times like this, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. So, I'm kind of keeping my powder dry to see what transpires in the next, 1 to 2 days. And, hopefully they'll get a resolution of this quickly. But if that doesn't happen, I think we will see volatility in the markets, and that can provide a good buying opportunity. So if you've got a list of stocks you want to get into, maybe not be in a big rush. Just let's see what happens with the markets overall. I tend to find in cases like this where there's not black swan events, but these things pop up and who knows where they're headed, that the good stocks will go down with the bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is going to be a buying opportunity if you've got stocks on your radar that you're hoping to get into. There might be an opportunity to do that going forward in the next 1 to 2 days. So hopefully by the end of this week, this is all put to bed. It will be at some point, and things will return, let's say, to some semblance of normal. That being said, there could be terrific buying opportunities prior to that happening. So stay tuned. That's what we're doing. Am I buying anything today? We'll see what the markets do. If it dropped dramatically, I might slowly ease in, but I don't think I'll be making anything major until a little more certainty is out there. So,
yeah. And let's check the prices while we're live on air. Right now, Bitcoin is hovering at 105,430. So it's been pretty stagnant for the last 2 hours, hovering around 105.4 and 105.6. So just playing a little day traders there. And it did drop down to 103 when the Iran and Israel war kicked off.
A blip.
It did. But what surprised me, Brooke, is last year when this happened, okay, it dropped down like 10% and stayed down for about a week, 2 weeks. This time it dropped down like 2%, 3%, and was literally back up within hours.
Yeah, there's, guys, you're aware, hopefully, and I'm sure you are, there's a terrific underpinning of purchasing of Bitcoin. So I don't think we're going to see dramatic falls in Bitcoin even this week. And that's a good thing. It's showing itself to be very stable, let's say, in these times of trouble. So people, maybe are gravitating to it, in times of uncertainty. So gold's gone up.
Oil's gone up.
Oil's gone up, obviously. And so let's wait and see, guys. That's I'm not selling anything.
No, I'm holding. I ain't got rid of nothing right now.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was very, very short-lived. Only a couple hours, and it was back from 103 back up to 105 again. So that's telling me that the ETFs, when you're going on there and you're going on to iBid or Fidelity or ARK Invest and you place an order to buy Bitcoin through the stock market, they have normally 1 to 2 trading days to complete that order. And so that would have been market close Friday. Well, they could complete that order Monday, Tuesday, or Friday after hours. They can do it as well because, crypto trades 24/7. When that went down, guess what? All of them made bank. All of them. Because people were putting buy orders in at 106, 107, because Bitcoin was still going up. And what happened? It drops down to 103. You just paid 107 for a Bitcoin. Thank you. iBits just made $4,000 off you
Yeah, yeah.
because they'll buy it at the cheaper rate.
The institutions are getting into it big time. Companies are getting into it. Pension funds.
Mm.
You know, Brazil has a proposed law going through to have 5% of their reserves held in Bitcoin.
And their reserves currently sit at over $350 billion.
Bingo. So, but that's just an indication to me of where this is headed. You know, there's a pretty big economy. Brazil is no slouch. I think it's the biggest in South America. That and you'll see other governments, sovereign wealth funds, follow suit with these reserves. So the catalyst will be once the US announces, you could see a spike 30, 40, 50 grand in the price of Bitcoin.
Oh, easy.
Now, good news, guys. That'll pull MicroStrategy with it, and which will create again more volatility. And I think it'll pull Misty with it to some extent.
Yes.
50% increase in Bitcoin's price, you could see a doubling in MicroStrategy and probably 50% to 30, 40, 50% in Misty.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Very nice. So all our Misty holders out there, including myself and Brooke, I watched a good interview on Forbes, and Forbes was projecting, crypto markets for the end of the year. And they were putting Bitcoin somewhere between 250 and 300,000 by the end of this year. And they were putting MicroStrategy at $1,000 by the end of the year. And then they were putting Misty at $45 by the end of the year.
Be a lot of happy campers if that happens.
So I can see a lot of happy campers, especially when you're getting it at 21 right now, 21 and change. So you would be a doubling of your investment.
Yeah, no, I tend to focus on more. I want my monthly check.
Yeah.
The share price, it will be volatile. I'm assuming it will, to some extent, track Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, which I think are closer related. So as far as how Bitcoin travels, so will Micro over time. Misty, I think, sure, the volatility go up. And I'm just more concerned, hey, I want to see my monthly check. And you will, because there'll always be volatility in the markets, guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Misty ever going away. It's not going away. It's just the question is, how much are we going to get each month?
Yeah.
And, time will tell. I'm happy I'm in it. I'm staying in it. I'm not selling it. If anything, I'm probably going to slowly add to my bag.
Ditto.
And fortunately, as a Canadian, I have a tax-free account. I have it parked in. So, yep. Well, time will tell. We'll keep everybody updated.
Exactly. And that is some huge news coming out of Brazil. And another piece of huge news is we are now after the 15th of the month, when Michael Saylor turned around and said that, hey, the proposed legislation of how American government is going to buy Bitcoin without costing the taxpayers any money must be on the president's desk by the latest the 15th of June. So it's on his desk right now as we speak. Right now, the president is in Canada with the rest of the G7 nations, and they're having a meeting about what's going on in Israel and Iran. But I expect that when he gets back to Washington and he sits down at his desk, he's going to take a good look at it and make an announcement.
We hope so. I'm not so sure. It might be a week or two off based on
current
he's
world
probably
events.
Got other things on his mind a lot more than focusing on this issue. So time will tell again. We'll see. That's why I said earlier, first thing, hey, let's keep our powder dry and see where this ends.
Yeah. Now, I did see a very good interview with Michael Saylor this week, and I sent it to Brooke. I said, Brooke, you got to watch this. This is a fantastic interview, one of the best I've seen with Michael Saylor. And they were discussing crypto winter. one of our big taboos. We're all like, "Ooh, when do we got to get out? When do we got to get out?" And the interviewer was saying to Michael Saylor, "Hey, at the end of this year, crypto winter is going to come in. How far is Bitcoin going to drop? How far is other crypto markets going to drop?" And his reply was, and I'll quote him verbatim: "There is no more crypto winter."
I believe that.
He said, "There is no more crypto winter." He said, nation states are getting in this. He said, governments around the world are getting in this. Huge corporations are getting in this. Top 100 companies are already in it, and the other 400 on the S&P 500 are sure to follow. So that was a huge piece of bullishness I've ever heard from Michael Saylor. And he did say that, look, to the interviewer, if Bitcoin goes to $500,000, $1 million, okay, you could see a retracement of 200,000, but there is no more crypto winter. He said those times are past. He said it's not just the average Joe that's getting into crypto, it's governments, corporations, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, pensions are all getting into it right now. He said that the writing's on the wall. Everybody's going to be buying for the next 4 years.
Big boys, big boys buying. Sure, we got the little players like you and me, but when the big boys are getting in, and they are, then they're gobbling up, like they're producing 450 coin a day. What is that, 13,000 a month? Saylor's buying more than that himself.
Yes,
on average in a month, guys. So what's the rest of the world buying? You know what I mean? Like, where's it coming from?
And BlackRock bought over 10,000 just last week.
Bingo.
10,000 Bitcoin in 1 week.
And you're making 3,000.
That's almost 3, a month to buy.
Yeah, mine. So where's the rest coming from? Well, it's coming from OTC desks and paper hands, people selling. And eventually that's going to come to a point where, boy, they're going to have to bid that price up to get more coins. And they're going to want more coins because everybody and their brother is jumping on the bandwagon. It's like I always say, it's like a snowball starts at the top of a hill, pretty small, and then it starts getting more and more adoption as it rolls down, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and it's going faster now, and there's more adoption. That's what we're going to see. So we're not even a quarter of the way down the hill yet.
Exactly. And I watch a good YouTuber, and so do you, by the name of Invest Answers, James on Invest Answers.
Great.
Now, James, he subscribes to just about every data market out there in regards to crypto. And he's spending money left, right, and center to get this information firsthand. I'm not going to do that. I just watch him. It's free. So anyways, he had a very interesting interview on about a week ago, where he was showing how much balance is on the OTC desks. Okay, that's where big companies that want to buy 1,000 Bitcoin, they go to the OTC desk and they buy them, and the price doesn't sort of move up or down. And it's their way of getting in low. And he was showing the OTC desks, and there was like 12 different OTC desks, and he was showing the balance. 2 months ago, there were over 200,000 Bitcoin on there.
Yeah.
Last week, it was down by
half. Yeah.
By half, 112,000 left.
In 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks.
So OTC, meaning over the counter coinage, ready for sale, is decreased by 50%
in 3 weeks.
So let's say another 3 weeks go by. Then what happens? So
exactly.
I said earlier, I think June's going to be a interesting month for the price, because it could very well, skyrocket this month.
And as for the Iran and Israel war, it looks like we have to talk about it, folks, because it affects the money markets. It looks like Israel has taken out most of Iran's air defense, taken out all their airfields, so they have air superiority. And I'm expecting this probably to last another week, maybe 2 maximum, and it's going to be all over with.
Let's hope they come to a resolution soon. But
as far as Ayatollah Khomeini, I think they're just going to let him be. They're not going to try and kill him and make a martyr of him. They're going to let the own government, new government, do like they did with Saddam Hussein, and try him in courts,
Hmm.
for genocide and the crimes that he's committed inside Iran. And that's how I think that's pretty much going to end. They're going to take out the nuclear facilities, the military, and then, okay, we're going to stop and you guys sort it out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, let's get on with today's show and see who we got online.
Vincent, he's an early bird.
There
Good
he
morning,
is.
guys. Have a great show.
And thank you, Vincent. Good morning to you, brother.
Tony Montana. Good morning, Cooper, Darlene, Brooke, and Jackie, and all the gang. Hope all is well.
And Tony, you're slacking. You're not first anymore.
Oh, Tony's trying. He's always
getting
on
too much
there.
of that beauty sleep.
Nomad Jack. Good Crypto Monday, CBD and gang. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Jack. And thank you for being a channel member and having the badge next to your name. Much appreciated.
Say hello to Pinky. What's Coop? What's Duke doing these days?
I don't know. What's Brooke doing these days?
Going to be a volatile week, given everything. I agree, Duke. Good thing I loaded up on oil and gold on Friday. Well, he allocated some of the funds Friday to a couple good.
Because he knew that oil prices would definitely be going up once they start attacking Israel and Iran. And it has been announced that Israel has attacked the 3 largest oil facilities in Iran. And they are currently on fire, and it's going to be a while before they can put those out and produce any more oil. So naturally, yes, the price is going to go up.
Gold is up, but and oil is up quite a bit. But that'll come back quick if things get resolved.
Yes.
So be careful on the oil, Duke. That's what I'd say. Blakester drums. Morning out to all those. Evening from here. Let's make some serious cash.
There you go. And thank you, Blakester, for being a channel member.
Tony says, Vincent, I'm still number 1. You are in our minds.
Yeah.
You and Vincent are tied. Mikey D. Hey, Coop and Brooke. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Today is our day.
Yes. If you're watching this in the U.S., it is still Sunday for you.
Yes.
So therefore, Father's Day, that was yesterday for us here in Thailand. We're 12 hours in front of the East Coast of the United States. So yeah, if you're watching this right now, it would be 8 p.m. New York time. So still Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to all those that are watching.
It's 9 p.m. over there. Tony says, good morning, Nomad Jack. Tony again, happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Yeah.
Yep. Mikey D, Brooke or Coop. Someone said last slide Misty was going down. I think that's way off. I agree. But just in case, I need to ask, am I mistaken, or is all well with holding Misty? It's all great holding Misty. Just keep in mind, you're waiting on your check every month. I want my money.
Yeah. And there is a bit of rumor mill out there concerning Misty right now. Is Misty's asset under management is now valued at $4.8 billion. So it's gone up since I invested when it was only $2 billion. So it's doubled in assets under management, people that are buying the stock left, right, and center. And the rumor mill is that they may be looking, not confirmed now, this is rumor, but I have to put everything out on the channel when it regards to our finances. The rumor is they may cap it at $5 billion and make a Misty 2.
So it would make something, I'm sure. But,
yes. And if they capped it at $5 billion, that would make Misty initially, Brooke and I both agree, raise up in stock value.
It should, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there'll be demand and no more shares being issued. So the market will determine the price. But yeah, it probably create a little bit of FOMO to get in. You know, geez, I want to be left out. But really, guys, there's always a price they'll sell at.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll always be able to get Misty shares is my point. Just question of what price. So
exactly.
But yeah, they have a lot of money allocated. They pay monthly, as we know, guys. So that money's working for them for most of the month. And, you know, you get that kind of serious cash to play with, let's say, and they know what they're doing. These guys aren't stupid. You know, they've been in the option markets for, you know, 30, 40 years. There's always going to be a check every month. We hope it keeps going up. It will be volatile, but I don't look at my share price, guys. All I want is my monthly check. And I think the volatility with things like this happening this week will increase.
Mm.
So, hey, we'll see what the returns are,
Yeah, and I was pleasantly pleased to learn that Misty, its 30-day IV has gone up now. So a lot of people are happy because you want a stock to be volatile, because the more volatile it is, the chances of the stock price going up is greater. And the 30-day IV went from 47 to 53. So good for Misty.
Good for Misty.
Yeah.
Yep. Volatility, guys, so you're aware, is the higher the volatility is, um, they anticipate the price movements to be higher,
Yes.
up or down.
Yes.
So and the good news is, hey, higher volatility, there's obviously higher premiums associated, which is how we make our money in Misty, but it also provides more opportunity should it drop.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because the drop could be quite significant. You remember we saw it down to 1790 something, 18.
Exactly.
Guys that got in at 18 are smiling all the way to the bank.
I know.
So that's where this implied volatility, the greater it is, you can have greater spreads up or down. So, it could go the other way. It could go up quite a bit too.
Yeah.
Tony says, I'm the first to hit the like button. So let's see if we can hit 100 likes in the first hour and make Darlene smile.
That'd be fantastic. If you're watching the live stream, we do all this for free. We don't ask for anything in return. All we ask is give us a thumbs up. That's it. If you're watching, hit the thumbs up. Say, okay, these two old retired guys, they're not too bad. They got a valid point and they're putting on a good show. Okay, I'll give them a thumbs up. It's free. It doesn't cost a penny.
Speak for yourself.
I am
Roger Walker. Good evening. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning to you, Roger.
Vincent, hey guys, I'm really about the US dollar exchange rates. Even if Thai prices remain the same, it's not if you buy groceries, they're going up a bit. Our prices are really going up, meaning he's getting less on his exchange, right? When will this pain go away?
All depends on the governments around the world, folks. Thailand's not changing. It's the governments around the world that are changing. We can see that because we're boots on the ground and we live here. The prices aren't going up here in Thailand at all. But what is affecting the prices is your currency is getting weaker against the Thai baht. Wherever you are around the world, it's getting weaker, and therefore it feels like it's a bit more expensive. Once the economies get together and they start making these bilateral trade agreements, then the currencies will get stronger, and then you'll get more baht for your dollar, your yen, your British pound, your euro. That will all be reciprocal and change. And I'm going to say by the end of this summer, we'll see a nice rebound on the US dollar versus Thai baht. What say you?
Yeah, there's always volatility in exchange rates. I'm a Canadian, but I keep all my money invested in US dollars. I figure it's the cleanest dirty shirt in the laundry. So I use that expression. But yeah, it's a little weak right now. A lot of countries are maybe selling the treasuries. It'll drop the price of the dollar. But going forward, hey, you don't want to bet against the US is what I've come to believe in. So I think over time it'll trend back to being a stronger currency in the basket, let's say. So. Now, in the meantime, hey, you add a few more Misty shares. Well, that should compensate for the different exchange rate. You don't need a whole lot, 2 or 3%, and bingo, you got that covered. So that's a way to look at that. Coop, what's Duke doing these days? At Mikey D, it was in reference to insiders selling their stocks and using it as FUD.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, that insider, was that talking about MicroStrategy? I think?
Yeah,
was it Tesla?
There was an insider in MicroStrategy, and he's on the board, and he sold $10 million worth of his shares. And it spooked a few people. Hey, why would this guy that's working for MicroStrategy sell $10 million left of his shares? Well, he sold half of them about 2 years ago, and he's now sold the final half. And the way it works is when you're working for these big corporations like MicroStrategy, you get paid bonuses every year, and that pays in shares. And I did a bit of research on this, and he had a time limit to sell the shares. They expire, there's an expiration date. So he didn't have a choice but to sell them. And if not, he loses them. And nobody wants to lose $10 million. I certainly wouldn't want to lose 10 million. So he sold them before the expiration date and was holding on till the end because the price is going up. And he wants more bang for his buck, and that's why he sold them. And then at the end of this year, he'll get some more shares as a bonus, and he's got a certain time frame to sell them too. And that's the way it works in big corporations. So don't get worried about that, because Michael Saylor is not stopping buying. Governments around the world that say, oh, I don't want to get into crypto. Guess what? They're buying MicroStrategy left, right, and center. Look at Switzerland, and all the other European countries that say, oh, we don't like crypto. But guess what? They're all into MicroStrategy.
Yep, big time.
Exactly.
So the same thing, Coop, actually applies to Tesla guys.
Yeah.
There's been some insiders selling Tesla shares, but again, for the most part, it's simply because the options are going to expire and you have to exercise them.
Correct.
It's just actually normal, prudent tax planning when they do most of these sales.
Yeah.
So I am not concerned. I'm focusing. My bag of MicroStrategy is huge. My Tesla bag, not so much. So I've been focusing the last month on heavy Tesla research. And boy, the more I look into it, the more I'm convinced that it's like the AI of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So, and those are two things, AI and DeFi guys, Bitcoin, that everyone should look at. So,
yeah. So, and then there was a news media came out, and the news media loves spreading FUD. We call it clickbait on YouTube, and they do it simply because they want to get a lot of views and get their viewership up. It makes their stockholders happy, it makes the president of the news company happy, and they're like, make a story out of this, and that's why they do it. But when you look behind the scenes, which they didn't do, they didn't say, oh, well, his option's about to expire. Of course, he sold it. Well, if they would have said that, there would be no story and there'll be no 10 million people watch it, and that's why they do it. So they only tell you half the story. So you got to do your own due diligence and your own research. Well, wait a minute. Why did they sell? What was the reason behind it? Well, the reason behind it was the options were about to expire. Either you sell it or you lose it. Makes perfect sense to me.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah.
Vincent, Tony, you and I are number one. Correct. Lakester Drums, Misty projections are low for payout. Just finished watching video that Misty's volatility has gone from a high of 150 to 51%.
Currently sitting at 53.
I'm still good with lower payouts for a while. Keeps the stock price up.
Yeah, and from what I'm seeing, Blakester, and I'm watching Misty daily. Monday to Friday, I'm watching exactly what they're doing, how many calls they're selling, how many puts they're selling, how many buy orders, how many synthetics, and what their prices are, and whether they're making bank or they're losing money. And I can tell you right now, they've won 75% of their trades for last week. So they had a fantastic week again last week. And right now, I mean, we're only week one into the next Misty dividend payment, and they're already sitting at $1.
Good.
If the payout was tomorrow, it'd be $1.
Okay.
So
that if they paid out 100%.
Exactly. So with that, Misty is sitting very pretty. If they have another 2 weeks like this, you can easily see a $2.50 payment next month.
And that would be nice. There'd be a lot of happy campers in Misty land.
Yes, very happy campers. And don't forget, we have 2 payments coming in August too.
Correct. Now, I believe it's prudent management, fiscal management for the company, Yield Max, to keep a sandbag amount in the bank for a rainy day, call it whatever.
Yeah.
And they're entitled to do that.
Yes, they are.
They do, however, have to, pay out to us shareholders 90% of the earnings for the year by the fiscal year end,
which is the end of October.
end of October. So I believe they're sandbagging, which means I think we're going to have some decent payments should things stay the same. You know, at least they've got their butts covered if they have a bad month. You know what I mean? They've got that surplus, call it. But regardless, we will see some great payments coming, in my opinion, and that's good news. So I think they're good cash managers as well as making money. They're looking to save it and keep it for a rainy day. So good.
If there is volatility, Blakester, this week, then in the crypto market, I see Misty doing very well because that's what they play on, the volatility of the stock market.
I think if you get Misty under $20, maybe this week even, I'm not saying it's going there.
No.
But, you know, let's say there was a crash because something happened in the Middle East. Bingo, that's a terrific buying opportunity, in my opinion. I would be doing some because it would lower my average cost base.
Oh, of course.
You know, will we see that? Probably not.
Yeah.
El Promeo, good evening, everyone. Happy Father's Day. Hope everyone is doing well from Stony Creek, Ontario.
And hello, Alpha. Thank you for coming on and joining us.
Tony Montana, hello, Alpha. Hope you're all looking to see you next month. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'll be back here next month.
What's Duke doing these days? At Blakester Drums, I think the volatility on Misty will come back as soon as MicroStrategy adopts the FASB rules.
Exactly, which starts to come into place, Duke, at the end of next month. And you bring up a very good point. For those that don't know what FASB is, it's the Fair Accounting Rules. And it will apply to MicroStrategy at the end of the second quarter. And the end of the second quarter is the end of next month. And that's when we are expecting that they will be promoted into the S&P 500.
It's coming.
It's coming. And the writing's on the wall, because once FASB rule comes into effect, it will show, providing Bitcoin is over $85,000 per coin, which I can't see it going back down that far unless there was something catastrophic happened in the world, then they should be invited into the S&P 500. So that will show that they then have a, what's the word I'm looking for? A net positive of $6 billion at current market value.
Tremendous profits.
Yes, tremendous profits.
And more so going forward. So,
and that would put them in, what's the term they use for the top 7?
Market caps.
No, the top 7 on the S&P 500.
Magnificent 7?
Magnificent 7. That could even possibly make them go in there and change the name to the Magnificent 8, some are predicting.
There's still resistance on the old guard of the financial so-called gurus of the past that MicroStrategy, Bitcoin, what the, you know what I mean? Like, I think, but hey, we're slowly working our way up the market cap ladder. Like, they're huge now. They overtook, what was it, Alphabet or one of the Amazon, one of the two in market size, you know, I believe. So anyways, it's interesting times we live in. You get adopted into the S&P 500. That's a steady flow every week
of
every
income.
Day into MicroStrategy. They have to buy it to balance the portfolio. So
because there's stockbrokers out there, folks, that they advise their clients to buy into the S&P 500, and they allocate a certain percentage of their portfolio into the S&P 500 for all of the companies in the S&P 500, not just one or two. And if that happens, that MicroStrategy gets put in, when could it happen? It could happen as early as September of this year. Excuse me. If it doesn't happen by September, it'll happen by Christmas. December is what they're saying. So when people are allocating into the S&P 500, they will be allocating into a portion of that will be allocated into MicroStrategy as well. And that's going to help drive the stock price of MicroStrategy up towards that magic $1,000 figure. A lot of the market makers, including Forbes, are predicting by the end of this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
It's all good
folks.
news, put it that way. Malcolm Hawkins, that name rings a bell.
Yes, it does.
Good morning, Team Coops from sunny Jumpkin Beach, and good day, Captain Bitcoin.
And good day to you too, Mal and Katea. Thank you for coming on and joining us.
No, jump in. Scotty S. from Wahin.
More.
More. Steve Dice, belated happy Father's Day.
And thank you, Steve. You too, brother.
Tony Montana, morning, Mal and Katea. Scotty, good morning, Cooper, Brooke, and all the gang.
And good morning to you too, Scott, from Wahin.
Live and learn with Mike. Good morning, DJ Cooper, Brooke, and Darlena.
And good morning to you too, Mike.
Patrick McCoy, good morning, CBD.
Good morning, Patrick.
Vincent, hey guys, I'm really worried about the US dollar Thai exchange. Yeah, we got that. Even if Thai prices remain the same, it's not if you buy groceries, our prices are really going up. When
we already read that.
Yeah, I think we did.
We did address that already.
It's yeah, don't worry. It's hang on. Just hang on. It'll get itself worked out. Jeff Sigler, hello, tubers. How's everyone doing today? Great.
We're doing fantastic. How you doing, Jeff?
Robert Nutt. There's that Texas humor. Good morning, CBD. I'm learning little by little about stocks, dividends, and even crypto. Thanks for the introduction and information. There's a lot of valuable stuff, Robert, on YouTube, the videos. Yeah. There's one to watch, guys, if you're looking at Bitcoin, is the Michael Saylor, Tucker Carlson interview. It's about an hour, a little over. He gets into great detail in layman's terms about Bitcoin, inflation, the history of money, what's happening to the paper, money that governments are issuing at gay abandon. Great. I love watching that. I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Every time.
And we put this out not as financial advice, just sharing our information that we're able to come past, and we share it with you guys so you guys can make your own educated decision. Is it for you or not for you?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's a forum where all of us get together and we share our 2 cents on what's going on in the stock market and crypto and bonds and equities and dividends and everything else. Hence why it's called Money Matters.
We're not selling anything. Isn't that good news? We're not what's called shilling. We're not shilling anything.
There you go.
And this is stuff that we both believe in. We're pretty well similarly invested for the most part.
Yep. Our portfolios look pretty much
it's just what we've done, and passing that on as information. You do your own research, make your own decisions. Yeah. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Scotty Caswell, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Scott.
Lakeshore Drums. It's weird watching you guys looking in the opposite direction. Glad I'm not on acid. So
yeah, Darlene just sent me a message and said, "Hey, babe, change the camera."
Okay.
I did. I already flipped it. So now when I'm looking at
Are
you,
we okay now?
It shows that I'm looking at you.
Oh, Jesus.
I had the camera set up wrong, so Darlene sent me a message or
When I
moderator.
look this way, I'm looking.
Babe, you're looking the opposite way. Change the camera. Okay, got it.
Living the adventure. Good to see you guys live. I rarely get to. Oh, right. I would appreciate if you would elaborate more on the story from last week where one of the main MicroStrategy people sold 1.3 million in value of his shares.
So it wasn't 1.3 million shares. It was $10 million. The news media got it wrong. I did my own research, found that it was $10 million that he was selling in share options that were about to expire. And I don't listen to the FUD on the news. I'm one of those ones that's like, hang on, why? I want to know everything. What's the media not telling us? And that's what they weren't telling us. It was share options that were set to expire. He had to sell half. 2 years ago, he sold half, and then the other remaining half, he had to sell by this year at a given date, and he just made it into that date to sell them at what he felt was going to be the highest point.
Yeah.
So it was $10 million, not 1.3 million shares.
Yeah. Now, guys like that report this FUD, they could very well have bought puts, or they could be short the stock. They release the information hoping the stock goes down, and then they made a quick profit. Exactly. You know what I mean? So you got to take a lot of this FUD with a grain of salt, because as Coop says, until you do the research, it looks bad. Well, it ain't. It's just normal practice. And the whole scheme of things, $10 million in dollars value Jesus, they're trading more than that in shares per like 300, 400 million a day in trades, guys.
Yeah.
So that's a drop in the bucket.
Look at earlier this year, folks. Jamie Dimon, he's in Davos and he's there with the media and he's saying Bitcoin is a nothing burger and he is completely against it. And you'll never hear him speak about Bitcoin again. He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And then when he's got his S3 filings came out at the end of the first quarter this year, guess what? He owns 1 million shares of MicroStrategy. So he was driving the price down, saying that it's nothing because a lot of people follow him and believe everything the guy says. And he talked it down, and everybody's like, okay, get out of MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy was over $500 a share. Next thing you know, it's down $300 a share. He buys 1 million shares.
Yeah, it's
and then he had to backtrack and say, oh, well, we're actually looking at our shareholders being able to buy crypto now. When he said that they would never be able to buy crypto.
Yeah, well, and this is like months and months ago.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon comes out and he says, oh, Bitcoin's this, it's, rat poison squared. I mean, that was Munger. But anyways, how
that
bad
was
it
Munger,
is.
yeah.
At the meantime, JP Morgan, the company, has ads out for crypto engineers to come on board. Like they're opening the department up. They see where the writing's going. It's in crypto. So, you got the head of the company saying, well, never do this. And in the meantime, they're building their bags and building their departments. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so they talk it down. They talk stocks down all the time because they want to buy the dip.
So which leads you to, and I'll just say this again. It's hard to get accurate information that's believable.
Yeah.
And I certainly trust with MicroStrategy, to a great extent, the Bitcoin information as well. Invest Answers, all one word. Jamie's on there. He's a great guy. When you start following him and watching him, you'll get the same opinion that I have, which is he's trustworthy. So I tended to try and mirror a bit of his bags going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been very successful. And then with Tesla, which is what I'm researching now exclusively pretty well, is Brighter with Herbert.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they get a lot of knowledgeable people with Tesla on there. That is great information. So, and I know you're into retire on dividends.
Yes.
I think he posts most days.
Every day, 7 days a week.
And that's and he's pretty factual with his data.
Yes.
So if you're into Misty, he might be a guy you want to look at.
He does all the yield max ETFs.
He does them all, correct.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So if you're, I'm into Misty mainly with some Tesla. Anyways, those are sources that I trust. So
yeah.
You take a look, decide for yourself.
Exactly. And another piece of news that came out last week from the SEC is Truth Social is got approval by the SEC to raise $12 billion to buy Bitcoin. So there's going to be some huge buys of Bitcoin coming up in the next couple of months. And that's why we are mega bullish between now and August of where the price is going. The US government says they want to have the crypto regulation in force and up and running by August. So everything's looking pretty positive right now for crypto.
I just read, I think last night, that Vietnam's now approved crypto in Vietnam.
Yeah.
The use of crypto, the holding of it. And
here in Thailand and Phuket, you can now use crypto to buy it and sell things.
Adoption's growing, guys. Slow and steady.
Yeah.
Robert Pierpont, GME GameStop, I believe, was at 37 a little over a week ago. They did a $2.5 billion convertible bond, and GameStop went down to 2160. Probably on the news because people don't understand what they're doing, maybe.
Exactly.
I bought 200 shares and sold 2 months out, 21 puts as well, and collected $300 for that.
Well done, Robert.
Yeah. So he's got faith in that.
I do.
Just so you know, GameStop, they got kind of orange pilled by Saylor.
Yes.
And I think that after looking at researching it, because he had orange pilled them about a month or 2 months ago, they jumped.
Yeah.
And that's pretty big purchase for them. So, anyways, Captain Action, I'm number 19 on the like buttons. I bet you Darlene's smiling. Yeah, let's
yes,
get
please.
the
If
rest
you
of
watch it,
yours.
hit the like button. 101 people watching.
Robert Nutt, do you think Misty will go to 40-ish, or do you think it will split?
No, I think it's going to go to 40-ish. It won't split until it gets to maybe 100. I can't see Misty splitting, and I'm waiting patiently on the sidelines to see whether they do cap it at 5 billion.
Mm.
Right now, that's just rumor mill. I'm waiting for Misty to come out and make that announcement themselves. But somebody with knowledge that has a lot of dealings with the corporate people at YieldMax put it out on Twitter that they could be looking at this as an option being discussed at the board. So nothing's been decided, but it's a proposal that they're looking at. So until that comes out, we'll just have to wait and see. But I do think that Bitcoin will go well above 200,000 this year. And that's my sandbag price. And I do think also that strategy will go to $1,000 if that's the case. And then I see Misty following suit with about $40, $45 per share.
Well, aren't you, Mr. Aggressive?
That is
I
my
totally
price prediction
I'm
by end of year.
I got no issues with your Bitcoin price nor your micro strategy. I think both will happen. And I think micro will split again, probably
Yes.
10 for 1. Misty, on the other hand, because it's kind of driven, guys, on the volatility of the market on the micro strategy, and I can see it slightly going up. So I think the payments probably will continue upwards. The stock, however, it'll be supply and demand, and partially driven by micro, but that I don't think it would hit 40, to be honest with you. There's a possibility, don't get me
Okay.
wrong, a percentage chance, but I would say trending between 20 and 30 would be my guess for the rest of the year.
Okay, well, you lost the last bet. Let's see if you lose this one.
And I'm happy to lose it if it hits 40. Ernest Jones, there he is. Good morning, neighbors. Thanks for all the info and all you do.
And thank you, Ernie. And thank you for being a channel member and having the badge next to your name. Haven't seen you at the pool for a few days.
Yeah.
Where you been hiding?
He found himself a lady. Robert Pierpont at Robert Nutt. There will never be a split on Misty, not anywhere near 40 at least.
Nah, if there's going to be a split at Misty, I would say Misty would have to go to $100 a share.
Oh, yeah, it's why split? Because sure, you double the amount of shares, just makes more work for them making payments to,
Yeah.
I don't see that happening.
No. I don't see it happening this year anyways.
No. Living the adventure. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't buy in the fact that Bitcoin will more than double price in the next 6 months. Ooh. Stay tuned. Watch. This has been floated many times before, and except for the meteor rise when Trump was elected.
Yeah. And I'm seeing, I look at the finer print. I don't look at Trump, okay, at all. What I'm looking at is who is buying, where are they buying, where's the money coming from, and who's made proposals to get into it, who's applied to get into it. And every day of the S&P 500, more corporate companies are filing with the SEC. They want to buy Bitcoin. And they have to file. They have to do what's called an S4 declaration that they intend to diversify into other stocks, portfolios, cryptos, currencies, gold, whatever. They have to file with the SEC, and it's called an S4. And those are public knowledge. Anybody can access the S4s. All you do is just go into Google search or AI and say, who's made an S4 filing in the last 30 days for crypto? And it'll come up and it'll give you the list of who's actually made the filings, and it's public knowledge. They can't hide it from the public. They have to declare it. And living the adventure, that's why I see Bitcoin definitely going to 200,000 this year.
Just so much demand is coming, adventure, with the limited supply. So it's I mean, it could be that even sooner, but and it could be a lot more by the end of the year.
It could,
just people. There will be, in my opinion, let's call it a panic to buy.
Yeah.
by a lot of governments are starting to figure out that they can simply take their fiat money, their paper money, and buy a rock solid asset called Bitcoin. They're not stupid. Once the ball starts rolling, they're all going to want to jump on that bandwagon. Hey, let's get rid of this paper that nobody really wants and buy something that it's gonna, it's limited. So yeah, anyways, we'll see. It's called price discovery when when there's no more over-the-counter coins for sale, guys. So
Yeah.
we'll see how high it goes. Living, the other thing I would tell you, you'll do more research. The more and more you research, the more you start to understand why that will happen. And we've touched on several of the reasons, but there's even more. The amount of pension funds, and I mean, BlackRock alone, the biggest money manager on the planet, is now advising their clients, and that means every one of them, between a 1% to 5% Bitcoin holding in your portfolios is recommended.
Yeah.
And a lot of their clients, it's what's called the client doesn't tell them what to buy. They're just passive investors sitting there. It's BlackRock that does all the buying.
Yeah.
And they're putting Bitcoin into these clients' accounts. So,
yes.
You just start to add all the things, but Living, do the more research. The more you research, the more you'll understand. And in my opinion, the more you'll become a believer.
And somebody good to follow on X, Living, is if you don't want to do the research and you just want the information, there's a good person on X. It's called Huddle 15 Capital. And if you go on his X page, he puts out every day the companies that are buying Bitcoin and added it to their balance sheet. And he's got a list there, and he updates that list every single day. It shows who the new people are, who the existing people are, and how much they're buying. And I like going there for my point of reference, so I can evaluate where the market's going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good. What's Duke doing these days, Coop? Sailor just bought more Bitcoin without issuing common stock. Everything is good, friends.
Yeah, and Sailor likes to put an orange tick on his Twitter feed, and that indicates he bought some more Bitcoin. And the great thing is he's not using the common stock to do it. What is the common stock? That's what you and I buy, the shares in MicroStrategy. It's called common stock. So how is he able to attain this Bitcoin? What he's doing is he's using what's called preferred stock. And he's got now 4 or 5 preferred stocks out there, and they pay a percentage per year for those that buy into them. The big corporations are buying into them left, right, and center. And he's using them to buy called preferred stocks into Bitcoin. And when he does that, it does not dilute the shareholders, which is fantastic. And for those that didn't know, Thursday last week, there was a shareholder meeting with MicroStrategy. I wasn't able to attend the meeting. You could do it live via Zoom, but I was a little bit preoccupied with other things, and I didn't watch it. But that's what he said going forward, that's what they want to do for the remainder of this year. They're not planning on selling any more common stocks because they don't want to dilute the shareholders, and they want the shareholders to be very happy. So they're using the preferred stocks. So MicroStrategy, watch out.
There's a huge demand for the preferreds,
yes,
as well as their bonds. So, Sailor's no dummy.
No.
Stay tuned. Subwoofer, Cooper, I know you bought Misty, but what were the other 2 that you diversified with?
I am in, I have 3 bags right now, Subwoofer. I've got MicroStrategy, Tesla, and Misty. And what I'm doing is I'm using the Misty dividends to buy more MicroStrategy and Tesla. So I'm taking out 50% for me and 50% for reinvesting. And that's how I do it.
Well done.
And if Misty is down to a degree that's under what I paid to get into it, then I buy more Misty to bring my price down, my dollar cost average down. If it's not down, then I buy into MicroStrategy or Tesla. I see which one is further down than the other one, and I buy into one of them.
Good.
Because I see the prices of those going way up.
Yeah. you get enough Misty guys to live on, and
Yeah.
then the excess is what you can invest with.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. I got my Misty in my tax-free account, which means anything I pull out when I need to is going to be tax-free.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Ain't much like that anymore.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, because it's in the tax-free, and I've got a big enough bag in micro, I do want to add to Tesla, but I'm going to start building the Misty up even a little more in the tax-free
Yeah.
until I need the money. So
Exactly. And I like what Micah Saylor is doing right now for the shareholders. And that's why on my next Misty dividend next month, they declare on the 2nd, by the way, for those wondering when the next Misty payment is, or the 2nd of July, they'll declare and say what the price per share dividend payment is going to be. And then you normally get it 2 days later. But here's the problem. 2 days later is Independence Day in the US. So
okay.
it's a holiday. So does that mean that we'll then have to wait to the following Monday? I don't know. Because the 2nd is a Wednesday, and 2 days later will be the 4th of July, Independence Day, which will be the Friday. So the stock market will be closed on the Friday. Who knows? They may pay out a day early so everybody gets it on the 3rd. Watch this space.
It'll be coming one day or the other.
Yeah.
Richard Woolley, hi tubers and the Misty Mafia.
And hello, Richard, and thank you for being a channel member with a badge next to your name. Much appreciated. And Bitcoin's on a little bit of a rise. It's going up. We're in 105.8 right now as we sit here. So it's gone up $400 since the start of the live stream.
Well, that's because of us. Robert Pierpont, if Bitcoin stabilizes, MicroStrategy will also stabilize and the IV will drop, and that's not good for Misty at all. Yeah, to some extent. That will take time, Robert, for the volatilities typically to slowly work down, should they? But Bitcoin has always had volatility. It still does. Maybe not as much as, years ago, but it's still there. And MicroStrategy, they're accumulating their Bitcoin, so there's going to be demand for that. I'm not too worried. It not good for Misty. Misty will always make a payment.
Yes.
Yeah, it might go down a bit, Robert. Down from what 237 the month before to 147. So then people consider that down. My God, that's still about a 80% return on your money
Per annum.
Per annum.
Yes.
And if it even went to $1 a
I'd
share,
still be happy.
You're getting your money back in 24 months. So what is that? 50% a year return on your money.
Exactly.
You ain't getting that in treasury bonds or 5 or 7% yielding dividend stocks. And but yeah, so I still think regardless of what the payments end up being, it's still a better return on capital than options you have out there. So. Terry Fallon from Bancroft. Hello, CBD and all the chat. Just wanted to drop in and hit the like button and make Darlene smile. Well, thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. Much appreciated. And thank you for being a channel member.
Phil T, good morning, CBD. Interesting times ahead. Correctamundo. There's nothing to stop the big players from manipulating the price of Bitcoin by selling high, then buying again during the dip.
And you're right. At the moment, there is nothing that can be done about that. You have these big whales out there with 1,000 coins. Yeah, they can manipulate the price. When it goes up to 112, like it did a couple of weeks ago, it was very close to 112, by the way. They sell a big chunk of it and that drops the price down to 106, 107. They buy back in, it raises the price back up. And that's how they make a lot of their money. They're called day traders. What I'm hoping with the new legislation that Congress is looking to approve in the US is that they will allow Bitcoin to trade on the open market 24/7, because you can buy Bitcoin 24/7 outside the market on the exchanges like Coinbase, Robinhood, to name two right there. But there are several platforms that you can buy it on 24/7. And that's what's hampering it right now. I believe the Bitcoin price is that it's not traded 24/7 on the open stock market. And I think that's something that they're going to look into with the new legislation due to come out by August. So fingers crossed for that. And once that happens, I think it's going to, you know, the big guys that are selling 1,000 coins, you know, to bring the price down over a weekend when, you know, people like BlackRock and Fidelity and ARK can't buy the dip. I think that's going to make a huge difference because when these big guys with 1,000 coins, Bitcoin sitting at 120,000, say for example, and it drops down to 115, I bet in Fidelity be like, buy, smash buy, and these whales all of a sudden shit out of luck, and they're like, damn it, you know, why did I sell, you know? And all of a sudden Bitcoin's at 125. So I think good things are coming with the new crypto legislation due to come into force by August 1st.
Yeah, common sense.
Yeah.
Buy and hold, guys. That's the bottom line. Blakester Drums said, Robert Pierpont, your point is why I loaded up more lately on the likes of Palti, Imra, Imst, and among others. So again, these are, I believe, monthly payers.
Other yield max funds. Yeah.
Yeah, and or competition. There's lots of competition now, guys, coming up. People have seen that yield max is very successful. You know, they've gone from a 0 market cap trading stock to 5 billion.
Yeah.
In a short, you know, relatively short, like less than 2 years. So, which is great growth. You know, they make 1% a year. They're making 50 million a year, million a week, just being paid to trade. So
exactly,
you know, that's why there's interest in it. So there's options out there. Robert's done his due diligence, I'm sure. Likes those stocks. Good on you, Robert. And hey, any of the others out there, feel free to let us know your ideas for creating income monthly. J. Washington, Tony, we need you to reclaim the opening comment spot. The market was much stronger when you commented first. I wonder if that's correlated. I doubt it. Ford Dog, morning, Mr. Coop, Mr. Schneider, and all the Misty Mafia. Happy Father's Day to you both.
And thank you, Mr. Ford. Happy Father's Day to you too, sir.
Ray Hebert, just be careful, guys. The market will now fall by 30% as the second stage, and then there will be the third. I would love to talk to you guys in depth by WhatsApp if you're interested.
Well, the market can do anything, you know. I mean, market can jump this year. People are forecasting the market to hit 6,000. Let's see. It'd be nice if it does. And then you have those that are forecasting, oh no, America's going to jump into the war with Iran. I don't see that happening. I just think it's going to be over with and done in the next couple of weeks. I'll be surprised if it goes into next month. I don't think Iran's got much left to be able to attack Israel with. They're destroying their launchers left, right, and center, so they can't fire any missiles at Israel. So I think it's going to be blown over pretty quickly. Their air force is completely wiped out. Their nuclear facilities are scrap right now. So I just think it's going to be over fairly quickly. And once that does, the market will then start to stabilize like it does.
Yeah, there could. My opening line, Ray, maybe you missed it, was that keep your powder dry because this could be a volatile week. You know, certain things, if they go on sale, I'll be jumping in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, you're right as far as, you know, things will eventually settle down, you know, whether it's a week or 2 weeks away. But yeah, anyways. I'm happy with the stocks I own because I've researched them enough to know I sleep easy at night.
Yeah.
I know where they're headed. You can't stop technology. And really, guys, you can't stop Bitcoin. The snowball's rolling down the hill. It's still at an early stage, but it's going to gain steam and get bigger and bigger. So, you know, it's the only limited asset on the planet. So those two, you can't stop technology. Well, that's the AI play with Tesla. So
exactly.
Yeah. There'll be dips in the road, but we still hang in for the long term. And Throckmorton says, hey, everyone listening and learning, never thought I would be buying stocks ETFs, yet here I am. Don't worry, Annie, there's a lot of people in that same boat said the same thing, and they're happy campers. thanks, guys, for all the information and encouragement.
You're very welcome, Anne. And that's all this is. We're not giving financial advice. All we're doing is sharing how we make money. And then it's up to you if you guys want to join suit. And quite a lot of our subscribers have. On our Money Matters live streams now, we're getting a lot more people coming on board and watching it. And that's absolutely fantastic. And people that said to me, 6 months, a year ago, Cooper, don't do this, create another YouTube channel. You're giving your subscribers bad information. And look, now they're watching us on Monday and saying, hey, Cooper, thank you. Your information helped me invest in the stock market, and now I'm making money. So thank you for that. And 6 months ago, a year ago, you're saying to me, don't do it. So we're come a long way in the last 6 months, a year, on Money Matters Mondays on the channel. And I'm not going to create another YouTube channel. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Right now, it looks like we're getting on average now for our Money Matters segment 800 to 1,200 views per week.
Good.
Which is fantastic, because that's where we are on our normal live streams in Thailand on Wednesday and Saturday. So it's caught up with the other one, and people are watching and saying, yeah, we got into it too, Coop, and this is how we're making money and building our retirement bags. And, maybe you can talk about this, giving us great suggestions. And we do. We look into it, and we give you our 2 cents, whether we think it's worth it or not. And if we do, we'll put it out on the channel. Whether it is or isn't, we'll let you all know.
We have a lot of happy campers here who, in several cases, weren't sure maybe if they could afford to live in Thailand, for what different reasons. But with better investing and, monitoring and research, a lot of them are tickled pink now.
Exactly.
They see a way forward, I've got a nephew in Canada, and he's early 40s, and he's coming to Thailand because he thinks he can retire young, with some of the things you and I do. And he'll love the prices here, and he's coming at the end of the year. So we'll see. He invested in Misty.
So thank you, Anne. Much appreciated.
Johnny Poulos from Sydney. Good morning, CBD, and everyone watching the live stream. Misty did well on his trades last week.
It did. I was watching it every single day, Johnny, and they did extremely well on their trades last week. They pretty much nailed all of them. And I was just, wow, so, and with that, also their 30-day IV went up. So when the 30-day IV goes up, that means there's more volatility in the market and also in the Misty price. So it did drop into the 20s at $20 per share, but it wasn't there for very long. When that IV went up, so did the price of Misty. So Misty is now over 21, and I can see it going much higher in the next 30 days.
Yep.
I can see it back at 25.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Let's see if I'm right.
Richard Woolley, any predictions on the next Misty distribution, guys? It's a little early for that. We're only a week into it.
But if they keep going the way that they are, right now they're at $1. Whereas this time last month, they were only at 30 cents.
Okay.
And I do like to compare month to month where they are. And I watch it religiously. And so they're 3 times better than they were in position last month. If it stays the same, I can see a $2.50 payment.
Well, that'd be nice.
If it stays the same.
There'd be a lot of happy campers. I'd say, Richard, it's a little early after just a week of the 4-week quarter, let's say, quarterly 4 weeks to get the payments estimates. So you'll have more information after 2 weeks are finished, even more after 3. And on the final week, well, bingo, they're cut off for their information, or at least, setting is Fridays. And then I think the following Wednesday is when they announce. So that's, from that Friday for over the weekend, you'll get a lot of information as to the estimates. And they'll tend to be a lot more accurate than just after 1 week, which we're sitting at now.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm liking, Richard, is their synthetics that they have right now. They have 4 synthetics out, and they are at the 370 price. And they are due to expire on the 20th of July. So we won't get that synthetic money on next month's payment. What they are doing is they're lining it up ready for August payments, is what I see.
2 in August.
There's 2 in August. And those synthetics are making bank because MicroStrategy is currently over 380. So the synthetics that are at 370, well, they're making money because the price is over what they said it would be. So they make money when it's more than what they bought in at the synthetic. So right now they're looking pretty. And if Bitcoin does hit a new all-time high in the next 30 days, you can see those synthetics making bank. And we will be all very happy in the August dividend payment.
I should mention, guys, last Monday, so a week today, when the markets opened, it'll be open tonight here. I was sitting on cash from the Saturday payment of Misty.
Right.
And the intention then, guys, in the TFSA for Canadians, was to buy more Misty. And now I mentioned that in one of the other videos, guys. I had been researching Tesla, as an alternative, diversify a bit, got faith in the stock, underlying, meaning Tesla, bingo. And Monday, the markets opened, Coop, and Jesus, Misty was up. I think it was 30, 35, 40 cents. And Tesla was down. It was down, I think, 805. And so I put a limit order in on Tesla at 781, I think it was. Pretty well, I was able to get 600 shares. And sure enough, it got filled overnight when I'm sleeping. So that was a little bit of diversification, but that's the reason. Now, luckily, it traded up from there. It's still over $8. So anything under 8 to me on Tesla is a good buy. Anything under 20 on Misty's a great buy. So, we'll see where that heads. In the meantime, keep the powder dry and see.
Exactly.
Hope I'm not rambling on too much here. Living the adventure. Happy Father's Day to you both. I know that you've mentioned it before, but where can I become a supporter of the channel? For some reason, I can't even seem to find it.
Okay. On our YouTube channel, if you're watching on your TV there, Living the Adventure, you can push the up button while you've got our channel, and you'll see our little circular icon, YouTube icon. And it's got a picture of me and Darlene on it. If you click it, you'll then, let me just go to it, and I'll tell you exactly how you can do that, sir. No problem. Make sure I got the facts right. It's been a while since I've done this. So yeah, if you click up on the remote, you'll see our little icon by the thumbs up and thumbs down in the comment section and the comment one. You click on the channel button and it says join. You click the join, it costs $2 a month. That's it. And you get the badge next to your name, and it helps support the channel. It's that easy.
Tell them about the coffee fund.
Oh, and we also have the coffee one right here. Some of our subscribers like buying us coffees. They're $5 each, and it is very much appreciated.
YouTube gets none of the money.
And YouTube gets none of the money. When people send us super thanks, however, for example, $5 or $10 super thanks, YouTube takes 40%.
40%, like a tax.
Like a tax.
40%
So
tax.
we lose 40% of that automatically. If you want to give it all to us, the easiest way is that right there. Use your phone and scan it. It takes you to our buy us a coffee, and it's $5 each, and we get all of that. We don't lose a penny of it. So thank you, Living the Dream.
Yep. Terry Fallon from Bancroft. Coop, I checked out the info for the Amara 3, and I think I'll wait until it comes out. Looks like the upgrades will be worth it.
Yes.
That's a drone, right?
Yeah, and it's called Amata. Amata 3. He's got a typo in there. But I'm waiting to see. I'm a big drone enthusiast. I love drones. Not very good at flying them, but I still love them. And the Avata, 2, has been out for well over a year now. And the 3 looks like it's going to have some benefits that the 2 doesn't have, and that's what I may be waiting for. It's due to be released by DJI on September,
And you're going to give Darlene your old one.
and I'm gonna give Darlene my old.
You're going to
drone.
make her smile.
I will.
What a good hubby you are.
But there's one thing I don't like about the Avata 2. I'll just say this briefly, Terry. It's got nothing to do with crypto, so bear with me. I'll give you a 30-second rundown, and I promise we'll get straight back to crypto. The Avata 2 drone, the one thing I don't like about it is the sensors. It only has sensors at the bottom, so there's no forward-facing or backwards sensors or on top sensors. So when you're flying the drone and there's a tree in front of you, it will hit the tree. You don't want that. What you want is like the DJI Mini 3 Pro, the one I currently have. It's got front-facing sensors, so when it sees a tree, it automatically goes above it and then comes back down. So that is what I would love to see with the Avata 3 when it comes out in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
No interest.
All done. Thank you.
Robert Pierpont at Richard Woolley, the next distribution will be the same as what the length of a string is. On a serious note, there is no way to know such a thing. Calm down.
We're still very early there.
I think we're all calm
Yeah.
here. Roberto. Richard Woolley, no harm in asking in a green pea, Robert.
No, exactly. There's no harm in asking.
No, not
We
a
could
bit.
all put, where we'd like to see
Ooh.
Misty at. I'd love to see a $3, $4 payment again. And I think we will later
We have
on
a
this year.
subscriber said if it's $3 this month, he's going to run around the pool naked.
Brownie.
Don't say his name.
Oh, I'm
no.
going to. I'm going to embarrass the poor guy. I love Brownie.
Next, please.
He's a great guy. But yeah, he said if Misty goes to $3 a share, he's going to run around the pool naked.
Oh, there'd be a happy camper.
I'll film it. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll
Oh,
censor
no,
the
we
naughty
won't.
bits.
Oh,
But
no,
yeah,
we
I'll put it on
won't.
YouTube.
Logan C. Hey, boys, I forgot my orange shirt, but I have my orange Speedo on.
TMI. TMI there,
Yeah.
Logan.
Logan says, hi, Darlene. Thank you for the hard work.
And thank you for
Hit
that,
that like
Logan.
button, guys.
Yes.
Make her smile.
Darlene's my wife and our channel moderator. She keeps all the bots out and makes all the banners and everything. And she does all the editing for the videos. So without her, we wouldn't be here. So thank you, Logan. And thank you to my wife, Darlene. Much appreciated, honey.
Terry Fallon from Bancroft. Coop, checked out the info on the Avata 3. Think the upgrades? Yeah, okay. Got
Will
that.
be worth waiting for. Yeah. I'm still waiting.
Jimmy Brown.
Oh,
Hello,
oh.
guys. Darlene, enjoy watching you guys. Thank you for all your hard work, Darlene.
And thank you, Jimmy. She appreciates it.
Luis Aranaz. Hello, gentlemen. Good morning. How do I go about buying Misty? What platform has it?
Quite a few. I use IBKR. They are one of the biggest on the planet, and they have offices all around the world, including in Australia, the Philippines, America, loads of different countries they have offices in. And you could set it up. You don't have to be an American citizen. Like Schwab is another one. If you are American citizen, you could buy it on there, but they won't let you buy it if you're a non-American citizen. So,
well, hang on now, Chris.
you can't get a Schwab account if you're
He
not
did.
American.
He's got it.
I don't know how he got it.
I think they're in England now.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they have an office in England. He's able
Yeah,
to do
I
it
think
through
so.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
he got it set up. Now he had to do some hoop jumping.
Mhm.
He has Schwab set up. He uploaded his British passport. Okay, accepted. He put his residence initially as England. Well, England at that time didn't allow people to buy Misty.
Right.
So he's disappointed. And whether it was you or me, said, well, try, you're in Thailand, try that. And I said, even call them if you have to. So I think he did that. He called them. Oh yeah, if you tick off Thailand, you're okay.
Yeah.
So the tax treaty with Thailand, there's 15%, and they allowed that. Now, since that, I think England now is letting their citizens get into these ETF funds.
I've heard that.
Yeah. Now, whether it's a proposal, the indication I got, yeah, it's going to go. Whether it's in force now or they got to wait a week or two or a month or whatever the legislation, I don't know. But so that's good news. So, anyways, Lewis, getting back to you, the symbol is MSTY for Misty. MSTY. You'll need a platform to buy it on, as Coop said. Depending on your country, I know if Australia, it's stake. A lot of the guys have had good access. If it's England, look at IBKR or possibly Schwab again. And if it's the West, any of them, that are listed there can do it for you. So depends where you are.
Yeah. 103 people watching, 61 likes at the moment. Please, if you're watching and you haven't hit the like button, hit it now.
Pound it.
We try and get to 100 likes on every live stream that we do. It helps YouTube boost our channel so more people can watch it. And that's all we ask. We don't even ask that you subscribe to the channel. It's up to you whether you wish to do it, but at least give us a like. That's all we ask, folks. Give us a thumbs up and help more people that want to come out to Thailand, retire, or want to get involved in the stock market, not sure how to go get into it, how to invest, how to make money. We put these shows out on Monday. So just give us a thumbs up. That's all we ask. It's not a lot to ask for. And it really does help support the channel. So please, if you can, if you haven't done it already, hit the thumbs up right now. Much appreciated.
Queen of Coins. Hi, can you help me find a condo? I'll be there July 20th.
Only if you're moving into our condo here, complex where we live at Dusit Grand Park 2 in Jomtien. I know the developer here, his very nice guy. His name is Joe, and I can speak to him on your behalf. If you send us an email at coopersthaiadventure@gmail.com, I can speak to him on your behalf. But anywhere else, I can't help you. And the reason for that is I am not a condo agent. I don't have a right to work in Thailand. And if I get involved, I can get in trouble. I can get my retirement visa revoked. And it's just something I don't want to get into. I have been out filming with a few agents over the past, and I put their details in all our videos, and you can contact them directly. And if you don't know the agent's details, send me an email, Queen of Coins, and I will forward their details to you. The biggest agent out here in the Pattaya area is called
Bolton?
Yes, Mike Bolton.
Yeah.
So if you can go on their webpage, they're on Google, just type them in and they'll come up. And another one is Fazwas. It's an internet page. You can go on and check them. A lot of their listings tend to be old and not up to date, but some of them are recent. So it's 50-50. But there are plenty of agents out here that can help you with accommodation. We can only help you if you're moving into this one. We can't get involved because I can get in trouble. Somebody can report me to immigration. Oh, Cooper's working, he's working as a real estate agent. No. And I don't mind going out with agents and showing you guys what's in the area, but that's as far as I go. We put their details in and you can contact them directly.
I would say Queen of Coins, book a hotel for 2-3 nights. If you go into any of the condos around, it is low season, so good news right there. So there'll be lots of availability. Most buildings you look at, book a hotel, Agoda, whatever you want for 2 or 3 days even, and then you can start your search. You can walk into buildings, walk in jurisdicts. Sometimes the listings are posted on a bulletin board. Even
it's not Mike Bolton, Alan Bolton. Sorry,
Alan Bolton. Yeah. And that's going to be an easy way to find it. Everyone that stays here seems to love it. So that's, as Coop says, now, we are getting busy. I mean, I don't know, what are we up to? 60 people now here? That
over 60.
Not everybody stays. Some stay for 3 months, a month. Some stay for a year and then want to, they want beachfront or they want Wahin or Bang Saray. Who knows? But everyone's different. They've got their reasons, but yeah, if you stay here, you'll be, I think, quite happy.
Yeah.
But again, there's lots out there. Queen of Coins. My dreams go to Buddha. Good cancer. What? My dream go to Buddha. Good cancer.
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah,
Translation came through a bit weird there.
W. Hi from Queens, New York. Microsoft stock is doing nicely with their AI development. They're one of the biggies.
Yeah. They're one of what they call the Magnificent Seven, is it?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Now, James Invest Answers, he put out a new Magnificent Seven for going forward. And it's interesting, guys. Take a look at that video. Microsoft, believe it or not, was in there, but so was Tesla, Palantir, I believe. Yeah. And some of the big ones weren't. Apple wasn't.
And MicroStrategy wasn't either. That was the
no, it was.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
MicroStrategy was in there. Tesla, two we own. W. Gold futures up $6. Silver down just a few pennies. Yeah, we have gold bugs that watch us.
Yeah.
LV abroad have
Okay.
remember the U.S. markets are closed on Thursday for Juneteenth. Again? This Thursday, the markets are closed. I hate that when the market's closed. Jeff Sigler, many times FUD equals pump and dump. Correct.
Exactly. And a good buying opportunity for those of us that want to get in at a cheaper price.
Especially for the long-term guys.
Yeah.
I try not to be trading. I find buy and hold's the best. Tim P, good day to the CBDJ gang. Hope all are doing well. A belated Father's Day to you both and all the other dads. Hit that like button. Make Darlene smile, he says. Thanks, Timmy.
Yeah, thank you, Tim, and thank you for being a channel member.
Phil T, after the worst dividend payment on Tesla, yeah, that's what I got there. Thanks a lot, Phil, reminding me. Are you guys still looking at buying into it? Absolutely. Was it just to hold the price up? Thoughts? Thanks. Yeah, volatility was down a bit. Tesla had dropped, I think, during their trading session, so that might have cost them a bit, but it's rebounded. It was kind of the fiasco of Trump and Elon was when some of their trades were in place, and that was so anyways, time will tell. But again, they're under the 90% payout rule by the end of October, so we'll see what happens. I have complete faith in Tesla, which is the underlying stock. The volatility on Tesla is actually a little higher now than MicroStrategy. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes.
So, I'm expecting good things going forward. When I do my buys, just so you guys know, I will look at both Tesla and Misty. And again, the only reason I bought that on Monday was that Tesla was down. I put it at limit order even below what it was trading at. Okay, if I get it, I'm a happy camper. And when I combine what I paid, Phil, with the 40 cent, which was the lowest on history, I'm still doing okay because the stock's jumped. So, time will tell.
Yeah, and my thoughts are exactly in line with Mr. Brooke Schneider. I think that Tesla has got a very good buying opportunity right now. I think there's going to be more volatility in Tesla, the underlying stock. And I see Tesla doing fantastic things this year. So I see the price and dividend price of Tesla going up as well. I am going to be looking at getting some Tesla on my next dividend payment. And then I'm also going to be holding my breath, waiting for Platy. Now, I want to see Platy in the $50 range. Once I see it in the $50 per share range, I will be looking to get in it. Right now, I think it's oversold and it's sitting in the 60s. I want to see a drop. When I see that drop, then I'm going to look at getting into some Platy as well.
I have only one thing to say about Platy.
I know you don't like it, but that's okay.
I know nothing.
You don't watch enough.
I don't follow it, guys. Okay?
I do. I follow them all.
Well, good for you. Terry Fallon, Coop, every time you say FUD, I think of Elmer.
Showing my age.
Elmer Fudd, showing my age.
Do.
You get the reference, yes.
I do. And a lot of people say I look like the guy from Mad Magazine. You remember that guy from Mad Magazine?
Absolutely.
What was his name?
Oh, Jesus. It's just not Alvin, not Calvin. Jesus. Anyways, I can see his face. And you are a dead ringer for him.
I am. He was a very handsome guy.
Oh, shit. Tell us his name, guys. I guess it's on the tip.
Was it Newman? Something Freddie Newman or something like that?
Alfred E. Newman.
Alfred E. Newman.
There, I got it. Yeah.
A lot of people say I look like him.
And what was Elmer Fudd's famous line? What it?
What it season.
LV Abroad, have you checked out Best of Us Investors on YouTube? I think you guys might like it, and his AI helpers.
No, I haven't. I've never heard of it.
Go. No,
I'll
check
take
that
a peek.
out. Yeah,
to see what it's like.
What's it called? Best of US Investors or Best of Us Investors? Maybe.
Yeah,
check out both.
Yeah, let us know in brackets what the name of the channel is. 110 people watching. Thank you very much.
Oh, good. Lakeshore Drums, even though we have 2 weeks before payout, with the fog of war and no trade deals yet, I predict Misty will be around $1.40 again and do what Brooke mentioned, bank the excess until the end of the fiscal year. Yeah, they might do that. Yeah, just, keep sandbagging until the end of the year.
They could do.
Well, don't kid yourself. They follow world events like we all do. And, hey, sometimes it's better to have dry powder, wait to see what happens. So, anyways, we'll see what happens. Yeah, time will tell. The more
It's still early days yet.
it is. Every week that goes by, guys, we get closer to the 4-week cycle, meaning we have a little better idea of how they produced, income. Let's see.
Yeah. And we got to get ready to wrap this up. We're going for breakfast at Route 66.
Come on.
Yeah. So we got to be there for 11 o'clock.
What's Duke doing these days? Well, was it True Social or Trump Media that got approved to buy the Bitcoin?
I believe it was True Social. From what I saw, been reported. They're saying it's coming from the True Social account, which he can legally do. What presidents cannot do, Duke, is they cannot front run the market and tip their bags and then make something happen. That's actually illegal. But True Social, because it's actually owned by his kids, can. So
everybody and their brother in the Trump family is getting into Bitcoin. That should tell you something.
Yeah. So they can legally do it, but the president cannot. So, yeah.
Right or wrong, hey, follow the train, guys. That's my advice.
Yeah.
Follow the money. Richard Woolley, Blakester, I'll be well happy with the hope and hope you are right.
Exactly. It'd be very nice.
Talking about a big payment. Roger Walker, what do you think about SMCY and Tesla? Simcy, I like
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla, I do, and I own it.
But, yeah, Simcy, not too sure on right now. Too early days. I'm still on the fence on that one, but I do follow them on a weekly basis, and I'm looking to see how they do. There are a couple of ones out there that are following the Misty playbook. Winter is one, and then MS2 is another one. And I do follow them too, but they are very, very early days.
A lot of copycats coming along, guys. So, again, just do your own research. And as long as you're happy and sleeps well at night and you get a good return, why not?
Yeah.
Phil T, so is Bitcoin an asset or a currency?
Okay. I'll hear your thoughts and then I'll tell you mine.
I don't consider it a currency, Phil. It's an asset. It's the hardest asset made. Limited supply, never to be more. A lot of that supply is gone in dumps and whatever. People passed away unexpectedly with the keys in their head. So it's, in my opinion, the hardest asset out there. People may use it as a currency, but you're treading on why would you sell Bitcoin? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Brooke is absolutely right. Bitcoin is right now considered an asset by majority of the planet. In some countries, it's considered a currency. In El Salvador, for example, they use it as a currency. In Phuket, here in Thailand, you can use it as a currency as well and buy and sell goods. I see it transitioning to a currency in the future. Because at the end of the day, you can't print more Bitcoin. I could see people paid in Satoshis and stuff like that as an option. They can always print more fiat. They can print more US dollars. They can print more British pounds, euros, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, the Spanish peso. They can always print more. However, they can't print more Bitcoin. The writing's on the wall. There'll only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. 5 million is my estimate of what's been lost over the years. People have forgot their seed phrases or whatever, thrown their computer out and bought a new computer. And it's like, oh, damn it. I had my seed phrase for my Bitcoin on there. I've lost it. And they passed away and they haven't passed it on to family members. So there's roughly 5 million that's lost. So there'll only ever be 16 million. And I see the future of Bitcoin is going to be very positive, especially when we get more nation states adopting it. It's going to be, I think it's more valuable than gold.
Yep.
And I can see in the next 5 years it overtaking gold.
Yep.
So great things I see for the future of Bitcoin.
Never sell your Bitcoin, guys. If you need money, sell a kidney.
As Michael Saylor says.
Yep. Phil T, Misty has a payment date of July 7th, Cooper.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Phil. Much appreciated. So they do have a declare date on the 2nd, which will be Wednesday, the 2nd of July. And so the payment date will be on the Monday. Yeah, because the 4th will be Friday. So yeah, it'll be on the Monday. Thank you for letting us know, Phil and Scott.
Scotty S. Misty. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Terry Fallon. See you, Jensen Darlene, on the next live. Always great to see you. Got to go walk the dog.
Okay, thank you, Terry. We're about to wrap this up.
What's Duke doing these days? Iran versus Israel isn't going to be over quickly, or why would BB be asking the U.S. to join in twice since last Thursday?
I'll
Keep
give
your
you.
powder dry, boys.
Okay, what BB is asking the U.S. to do is help defend Israel when the missiles and the drones are coming in to Israel. And they've asked England to do the same, and France. And England and France are sending over warplanes into the area to help shoot down the incoming missiles. They haven't been asked, as far as I'm aware, to officially enter the war and attack Iran. That I haven't seen, and I did see the interview with BB on the with Brett Baer, and he wasn't asking for America's help to attack Iran. So,
no. I'll be abroad. You'd think there would be a lot of money to be made. Sale Testa when you make $75 a share and buy it back when it goes down to 50.
Oh yeah, that's how a lot of people make money,
On
buying on the dip.
Yeah, but Tesla's not going to $75.
No, Tesla's sitting
320, I think.
Oh yeah, somewhere around there right now.
I can see Tesla doing a double by the end of the year, maybe more. Blake's your drums. Dow will drop 1,000 tomorrow. Maybe not all day, but I bet you dinner when I finally retire there, it hits it. Yeah, I think you could be right.
Yeah,
like the intraday swings can be quite dramatic. I do, put limit orders in if the stocks on your list are in that drop, because again, guys, in these dramatic events, you can get the good going down with the bad.
Yeah.
You know, so the bad you don't want to touch. The good, oh geez, it's on sale.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe you do like a limit buy. Like, for example, if you want to accumulate 100 shares of a stock, maybe you go in at 25 on a day like today. If it drops at 1,000, a quarter of your bag, and wait till the next day. If it drops more, you maybe add another quarter.
Exactly.
If it doesn't drop, well, hey, you got some on sale.
Time will tell.
Alchemist, never underestimate the incompetence of the orange clown. Is he talking about us? No, he's not. Blake's your drums. Keep running a tab for me. I'll be there in 2 years.
See you soon, buddy.
Yeah.
Not long.
Jeff Trio, hey guys, happy camper here. 960 Misty shares and counting.
Well done. Well done, Jeff.
Good on you, Jeff.
You'll be at that magic 1,000 very soon.
Robert Pierpont, income strategies. I bought the GME shares to sell calls on. Okay, you can get, they got probably tremendous volatility on those shares.
Yeah.
I can get $50 to $70 or around 2.5 or 3% per week on these weekly calls, which is 130% over 52 weeks. Yeah, well done. That's
selling call options.
Yeah, a little risky. Maybe should the share price actually drop quite a bit, but I tend to prefer Misty because I know I'm going to get a monthly check. I know, not too concerned about the share price. I want my monthly check.
Exactly.
Give me that money. Richard Duggar. Hey, Baba.
Hey, Bubba.
Hello, everyone from Alabama. Please hit that like button. Make Darlene smile.
And thank you, Bubba. For
Hats off to Bubba, by the way.
We're about to log off, folks. So say your goodbyes, and we'll read the last couple of comments.
Real quick.
But we really got to go.
Okay. Logan C., you boys should do an expat Speedo calendar. Have 12 local studs be the models. Which one of you would be on the cover? We can have a community vote.
No, not going to happen, Logan.
Alpha Romeo, hey, Bubba. I hope to see you and the rest of the gang mid-July.
See you soon, Romeo.
Mike D., drones are about as interesting to me as Betamax is.
Oh, and you're a big
well
Betamax lover.
Ditto. Mike D., drones. Oh, we got that.
Yeah.
Mike D., hey, have you guys looked into JEPI? Yes, it pays less dividend, but in the JP Morgan call option also stable. Correct. Just doesn't pay enough. Maybe good for diversification.
Yeah, I saw the same.
Robert Nuts, I am retiring here on my pension, bought stocks, and now I'm living off the dividends and not touching my pension. Sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's very
Misty
nice.
will help with that.
Yeah.
Lakeshore Drums, Jeppies for the youngins, long-term growth. Us old-timers, we want monthly. We want that check now while we can enjoy it.
Yep, we want that dividend payment.
Good, Blakester. Malcolm Hawkins, I use IBKR in Australia. Oh, I did not know that. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Very good service with Coop's help. Okay, good.
And you're very welcome, Mal.
Alchemist, always hit the like button, always will.
Thank you, Alchemist.
Mike D, isn't Dusted Part 3 coming out? Forgot
is.
what it's called. You did a video on it. Will they have private pools and units as well?
No private pools.
Okay.
No, Mike. It's coming along nicely, and the first keys will be given out in the end of December of this year. So it's coming along nicely, and they did change the name of it from Dusset Grand Part 3 to another name. I forgot what it is at the top of my head, but yeah, it's coming out towards the end of this year.
Mikey D, Brooke, are you saying it would only take 2 or 3 days to find a place? I think so, if you're shopping quick. That way, you're different than New York. That's way different than New York. Yeah, Thailand is the land of smiles. New York is the land of gloom and endless holes in the pockets. Correct.
Yeah, good way to lose money. Live in New York. Pay high taxes.
Robert Pierpont, IBKR has good rates. Yes, on buying Bitcoin, and it's international. Correct, which is great for those living abroad. That won't get your account shut down because you live in Thailand.
Correct.
Yeah. Alchemist, America is the land of depression. Ooh. Mikey D, I think July payment for Tesla is going to be nice. August 2. Hang in there, boys. Agree with you. Antok Morton. Today I turned 75. You're
well,
still
happy
young
birthday,
yeah, in Thailand. Who would have thunk? What's left of my mind is completely blown.
Well done, Annie.
Good for you, Annie. Chris Wheeler from Texas. Hi, older and older guys from Texas. See you all soon with coffee, ding-dongs, and a replica Stanley Cup when the Oilers win. Let's hope so, man.
Oh, you're going to make Darlene happy
hurting.
with those ding-dongs. She loves her ding-dongs. Thank you, Chris.
Alchemist, skip having a child. Besides stealing all your time, the cost of raising it can fund your Thailand retirement. I don't know. Kids are good. Living the adventure. I'm buying all my Misty and Tesla in both my Roth IRAs, so all my earnings are tax-free.
Way to go.
And even the dividends are tax-free. Oh, isn't that nice?
Exactly.
Chris Wheeler from Texas. Bitcoin is a good investment, not Canadian hockey teams. At least you can own them. I wouldn't bet on them.
Sorry, Brooke.
Chris Wheeler. Sorry, Brooke. LV says 2,500 Misty and 2,500 Tesla, enough to live okay in Thailand, in your humble opinion. Absolutely.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I know, not financial advice, just an opinion. Also, thanks for yet another great live stream.
Oh, yeah.
You get that, guys. You're well on your way.
You figure Misty's lowest payment was $1.33, and Tesla's lowest payment was 40 cents. So you look at that at 2,500 shares each, you're going to be living pretty on about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. And for a person here in Thailand, even a couple, 2,000 is enough for a couple to live here. So $5,000 a month. If you're a single man, you're going to be living the life of Riley, as they say in England.
Richard Woolley, thanks, guys. Have a great breakfast.
And thank you, Richard.
Join us at Route 66, 11 o'clock. What's Duke doing these days? Coop, Axios reported Israel last, and Trump declined already.
I don't put a lot of faith in Axios, to be honest. They do put out a lot of fake news. I like watching the people involved, be it the president of the United States or the president of Israel. And the president of Israel said that they did ask for help in defense, but they haven't asked for help in offense. So, yeah, winding it up. Uru, Malcolm says.
Uru.
Mike says, thanks, guys. And Alchemist says,
I would not dare talk about you guys. There is only one orange clown. Some call him Agent Orange, the toxic criminal in the WH. Well, that's good to know. Robert says, this a 3 Pristine Part 3. Okay.
Pristine Part 3. Yeah, that's the name that they changed it to. It was going to be Dusset Grand Part 3, but they changed it to Pristine Part 3, and it'll be opening at the end of this year. Last comment goes to
Alfa Romeo from Stony Creek. Thanks, Jensen, Darlene. Enjoy brunch at Route 66.
And thank you. 85 people stayed to the end. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Much, much appreciated. And let's just see how we did on our likes. Did we hit that magic 100, Brooke?
No,
what do you think?
I think we'll be a little under.
You think we'll be a little under 77?
That's
Oh my
it.
God. So we're
Oh,
23 short.
rascals.
So if you're watching on the replay, please hit the thumbs up. That counts too, and help us get to 100 for each and every live stream that we do. And it is very much appreciated for myself, my wife, Darlene, and of course, Mr. Brooke Schneider. Until next time, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you all. Stay tuned.
Stay safe.